Hey there everybody, it's Mike Delisio with another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game that has been very anticipated by yours truly. This is Endless Winter, Paleoamericans, coming from publisher Fantasia Games, designer Stan Kordonsky, and artist The Micho. We are looking at 1 to 4 players in about an hour to 2 hours. Couple of things. This is coming from a Kickstarter. So this is a Kickstarter edition. It is not the retail edition. Also, it came with multiple expansions, small expansions, that I will not be showing off in this video, but I will show off a couple of things. We've got some deluxe resin components that I'll show, and we've got a playmat that I'll show off, although I do think that there are multiple versions of the playmats as well. I think there are a couple of different orientations. So let's just take a look here and see what we've got. Endless Winter Paleoamericans takes place in North America around 10,000 BCE. Players guide the development of their tribes across several generations, from nomadic hunter-gatherers to prosperous societies. Euro-style game that combines worker placement and deck building in an innovative way. All right, so you can see kind of the components on the back there. Let's take a look inside the box and see what there is to see. All right. First of all, I love the cover. Obviously, I'm a fan. I say obviously because I've mentioned it many times. I'm a huge fan of the art of The Micho. All right, here's our rule book, our base game rule book. We've got our overview, our illustrated list of components here. We've got our setup, which looks to be relatively substantial. I mean, this is a mid to heavyweight Euro game from what I've heard. So not a surprise, you have a pretty significant setup there. You've got multiple areas to set up. You've got this kind of card market area here. You've got the megalith board set up. You've got the terrain board set up, so there are multiple play areas in the game. And then you've got the overview. It's played over 4 rounds, each of which represents a generation, and each round is divided into 3 phases. First, the action phase, then the eclipse phase, and finally the preparation phase. It says after the 4th eclipse phase, the game proceeds to final scoring. The most points wins. They've got some golden rules here that they mention, and then they go into more detail about the different phases of the game. So the action phase, they tell you the 4 steps to be played in order, and then they go into more detail about each of that. Now they go into more detail here about the eclipse phase and then the preparation phase. And then you've got action columns: initiate, develop, migrate, and hunt. You've got the megaliths, you've got the idle board, and then final scoring. All right, they've got some variants you can have here. You can set up a card draft, chief and set up card draft. You've got more examples of card abilities and things along those lines. Sacred stone tiles. Then you've got modules that you can have added into the game, and these are not even counting the separate expansions. A nice iconography guide on the back as well. Then you have a separate dedicated solo mode book, and boy do I love that. I like it for a number of different reasons, but here you've got, again, its own dedicated book and a list of components that are specific to the solo variant, which is something that I appreciate, and I know that Tom appreciates because he tends to take those out of the library copy. So if you're not a solo gamer, you know exactly which components you can get rid of. I won't go into a lot of detail about this. If I do a separate solo review, I'll obviously go into more detail there. And then you also, which is very nice, you've got a illustrated setup on how to put everything. All of the organization for the game is laid out for you there, and I think that that is fantastic. I wish more publishers would do that. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. We've got some custom plastic trays with lids. All right, I'm just kind of showing those off. There's a lot of these. All righty, we've got some minis I'll show off, and then there's some things hiding behind here or beneath this here as well. So let me just kind of show off some of the wooden components, some of which actually are going to get upgraded into these resin components, but let me just show off what we've got. Oh, they're falling. So we've got screen printed wooden meeples. Those are very nice. They're screen printed on both sides. So those, I'm always a fan of the screen printed wooden meeples. So it's nice to see that. What else do we have here? All kinds of stuff. We've got some small custom wooden pieces there. I don't exactly know what those represent. We've got more screen printed wooden pieces here. I'm not going to take all of these out of the bag so you can get an idea on what those look like and the quality of those. And then we've got a number of these screen printed wooden pieces, which I believe are on that monolith board. If I may be getting the name wrong, but we looked at it a moment ago in the rule book. And I will show you that these are the standard, or at least the versions that came here in this edition. And then there was that resin upgrade that I'll show off as well. We've got some just acrylic blue cubes. And we've got some screen printed, what look like tents. All right. So a whole lot of wooden bits there. Let's look underneath this large tray here. We've got some plastic minis here. Those are very nice. You can kind of see the detail on those. And we've got some minis bases here. I don't feel like I need to take those out, just plastic minis bases. We've got our dual layered boards here that you will be placing those tiles that I showed you before on, I believe, anyway. I have not played the game yet, so I don't know for sure, but that's at least the impression I get. But again, those are nice dual layered pieces there. Whole bunch of cards we'll look at here in a minute. Let's start to look at these. So these have a wash on them already, and I think that's something that is specific to the deluxe edition, or these pre-washed minis. But I really, really like the look of these because these are, you know, minis that are in the style of the Micho's artwork, which is, again, in my book, very, very cool. And those are really nice looking minis as well. To me, these are ones I would not feel compelled to paint because they already have the wash on them. Many people will still paint them, and I'm sure they will look amazing. Let's take a look at some of the cards. I'm going to go pretty quickly through these because there are a lot of them. But I'm sure we want to get an idea on how the look, the iconography, the quality of the card seems very nice. All right. So we've got Pathfinder Hunter. We've got multiple copies of each of these cards. They appear to be the same. All right. Tribesman. Again, I think the art on this is fantastic. It's very reminiscent of other art from the Micho, and if you like that style, you're going to get a lot of it here. If you're not a fan of it, then you know, there's going to be a lot of it, so you have to take that into account as well. But I think it's fantastic. Will this fit sleeved? I don't know. My guess is it probably will, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you that for sure. Again, I'm not showing all the cards. I'm going to show a little bit of representations of each of the different sizes. So let's look at this mini size cards. There's a pretty big deck of these mini size cards here. All right. We can look through those. The woolly mammoth. Glyptodon. Woolly rhino. Yeah. I like the look of these cards a lot. The sloth. Stag moose. Saber-toothed cat. All right. Those are maybe solo cards would be my guess there, but it's only a guess. Let's look at one more deck here. At least flip through them quickly. All right. So you can see more cards here. There's a lot of cards in the game, and there's a lot of individual pieces of art. Now, there are some repeated pictures here, I think. Yeah, they're like, I've seen a few of those, but there's also, looks like a lot of different unique pieces of art in the game as well. So, All right. Looking nice, looking nice. Get those. I think this was going something like that. We'll do this. Obviously, other pieces are going to be going in these different trays. And then we've got our dual layer player boards here. See that? Very nice. Nice, thick, sturdy, feel good. We've got what I believe is one of the main boards here. See that? Very bright and vibrant. Places to place your components, of course. Looks like places where you'll be putting the cards are going to be below there. It does look like this game is going to be a bit of a table hog, so that is something that will definitely have to be accounted for. It looks like it takes up a significant amount of table space. All right. More of the cardboard pieces. All right, there's one of the other main boards. Let's pop out one of these so we can see the thickness. Quality of that seems rock solid. No complaints there. All right, a lot to see in this box. We've seen most of it. I am going to show off those resin upgraded pieces as well, in case that's something that you get in your copy. Well, let's go ahead and pop all these in here really quickly. And then let's pop open these resin pieces so you can get a sense for those. I will probably pick one and show them off. So here's some red resin. I'll show off a couple of things. Here's some red resin pieces. These are very nice, hefty. They have a good amount of heft. They're very, very cool. And it looks like there were some other like scoring pieces down here I can show off as well. So let's just show those. All right, so you can kind of see, I think these are scoring markers. But again, these have a good amount of heft. They do not feel insubstantial at all. They've got a nice bit of weight to them. So if you're a fan of upgraded blingy components, they've got you covered here for the upgraders in the audience. All right, well, this is not going to be a clean cut because I already gave my outro and goodbye and I had to stick this in. I said I was going to show off the playmat, so let me show some of this off, although this is going to be huge. I will probably not be able to show it to you all in frame at one time, but I'm going to just kind of roll it out and kind of show you. You can see it's neoprene, stitched, very, very thick feel. Looks like it has the score tracker. It will replace a lot of the boards that you might need in the game. And here, obviously, you'd be placing your terrain tiles as well. So I do believe, will this fit in the box? I don't know if this will fit in the box. Actually, I'm guessing maybe it won't, looking at the size of it now, but maybe it will. I don't know yet, but I did want to show you that off as well. I'll tell you, nothing in there makes me less excited about trying out. Hopefully I'll get a chance here soon. That is Endless Winter Paleoamericans. Thank you for watching another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing.